We will call this October 22nd Brown County Commission meeting to order. Commissioner Weeks, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
First item on the agenda, we have the second reading, possible adoption of ordinance 148, Roger Gray rezone, and 149, Randy Bacon rezone.
We'll start with ordinance 148, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision Brown County ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property. Applicant is Roger Gray, looking to move from Agricultural Preservation District to Lakefront Residential District, and it's on South Shore Drive.
Move it.
Second. Moved by Sutton, second by Fiker, to approve the second reading and adoption of ordinance 148. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Actually, adoption of ordinances is roll call vote, so we'll start doing
Okay.
roll call votes on
All minor kind of deal.
those. Fiker,
Aye.
Sutton,
Actually, pretty
Weeks.
minor, but we...
Aye.
Kipley, Feldheim.
Aye.
Ordinance
With the
adopted.
edge of the road, it's still-
We'll go to ordinance 149, an ordinance amending Title IV, second division, Brown County ordinances, as amended to rezone certain described property. Applicant here is Randy Bacon, looking to move from Agricultural Preservation District to Lakefront Residential District, and it is also on South Shore Drive.
So moved. Moved by Piker, second by Kipley, to authorize the second reading and the adoption of ordinance 149. All in, well, I guess we'll have a vote. Kathy?
Yeah, Biker?
Aye.
Sutton?
Aye.
Weeks?
Aye.
Kipley? Aye. Feldheim?
Aye.
Ordinance adopted.
Got a couple minutes, Kathy, you want to just do a couple minutes until we get up to 8:50?
Yep, we have minutes from October 16th, 2019.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kipley, to approve general meeting minutes from October 15th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Claims.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Piker, second by Sutton, to approve claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
HR report.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Piker, second by Weiss, to approve the HR report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Declare office furniture at minimum building surplus. Move it.
Second.
Moved by Kipley, second by Weiss, to declare the office furniture at the Millen Building surplus. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
With that, Judy's looking to have that rummage sale on Saturday. Auditor's report of accounts.
Move. Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Weiss, to approve the auditor's report of account. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Leases.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Piker, second by Kipley, to approve the leases. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Library service agreement. Move it.
Second.
Moved by Kipley, second by Sutton, to approve the library service agreement. That's a one-year term. It's not annual each year, I believe.
I'd have to look, yeah.
It is.
Yep. What is it, 12,000?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We give them 12 to the library, they give us 12 to the museum.
And I have the numbers back in the day where county residents didn't have a library card because they weren't in city limits without this agreement.
Really?
Yep. Wasn't so long ago. No?
Yep.
Wasn't that long ago.
Just the bookmobiles? Would only turn left, steering on it.
Good.
We can set hearing date and authorize advertising for
I am the old
ordinances
dog.
150 and 151. They are rezoned from Agricultural Preservation District to Minier.
Move.
Second. Moved by Sutton, second by Piker, to set the hearing date to authorize advertising ordinance 150 and 151. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Class.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Piker, second by Week, to approve the plats. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The surplus tasers, that was in last week. There was some confusion on if they were selling them to other counties or just giving them away, and they're just giving them away. So we need clarification on that. For the
The
minutes, I had
250
it
price we
sold.
looked up, that was probably with the battery and working, huh?
Right, they said it's just the plastic case of the taser, the guts have been removed.
Yeah.
So the receiving county or entity will have to buy the battery.
Throw it at 'em,
The
or-
working part.
Might work.
That's the explanation I was given.
Yeah, so if we just want a motion authorizing to be given.
Yeah.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Kipling, second by Sutton, to authorize the surplus tasers to be given to other what do you want to call it?
The government.
Government entities. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's everything that auditors have attached.
Next item on the agenda, Dirk Rogers, Highway Superintendent. We have 2 right-of-ways and a department update.
Morning.
Morning, Dirk.
We got 2 right-of-ways first from Northern Electric. They're right next to each other. They're updating electric services. Am I looking right? Yeah. Along, they call it the Larson Road, but 11-4 going east out of Columbia. These 2 are both in the last mile, and they're just bores under the road to update service. Set on one side and bore under it.
Are they Northern Electric?
Northern Electric, yep.
Move on.
Moved by Kipling, second by Weiss, to approve the 2 right-of-ways for Northern Electric. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Couple things we got going on. The 2 bridges, the west bridge at Richmond, we probably would have that open maybe today or tomorrow, but the rain kind of screwed us up yesterday a little bit, but it's basically just clean up and got to bring it up to grade, and then we'll have a little bit of riprap in there and cleaning up around the 2 most affected homeowners. We got to kind of straighten up their driveways and a lot of simple stuff, but for the most part, that one's done. We got a little work in the dirt barrel, but it's all the reclamation kind of stuff and finishing up. But so for the most part, I don't want to say we're going to have it open by the end of the week, but I'm hoping we have it open by the end of the week. We should. Any questions about the West Bridge? Nope. The other one on Richmond Road, they're pouring the guardrail supports today. It's the little culvert piece that the guardrail goes down in on the ends. But again, they ought to be out of there either today or tomorrow, and then we will, it's going to be a piecemeal-y deal. We got to get them out of the way. We got to haul gravel on top of that bridge before we do anything, because it's one that's, it's a modular steel bridge, so we'll have to get the gravel in there first. I'm hoping to get a little bit more paving done up closer to the bridge. In a perfect world, we'll get it all done, but we got about 1 day to this week, or maybe 2, we might try it, and next week it's not looking super. We're getting down there to where we've gotten it pushed out pretty far here, but I haven't completely given up hope. But as I said before, when we get it all done, there may be a stretch in there on either side of the bridge that's going to be gravel for the winter. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's a possibility. So that's kind of the thing with that one. But again, that one, and I'm hoping we won't have all the paving done, but we may be able to open that up to traffic by the end of the week. But it will be gravel at that point. It's a little tricky paving on top of that bridge. You have to sit down and you bring the gravel up so far and you leave about a 2-inch space on top of it, and then you sit down and that's where you put your asphalt. It's the exact same bridge we put in down, I'm pointing the wrong way. No, I'm pointing the right way. Down west of Stratford. It's a modular steel one. That's why it went in so fast. It comes in on the truck and they just take it off and set it down and away you go.
So is that the same contractor, Holloway? Did they do both of them?
Yep. Yep.
Just need the weather to cooperate.
Yeah, well, I'd like to blame it all on the weather, but it is October and, we're backloaded this year. Any questions about that? Specific or not specific? I actually wrote notes. I should see what I wrote down there.
Is there a plan at all to do the striping on?
Yep.
There is.
Yep.
Because I had a couple questions on whether or not 13 would be striped.
Yeah. We talked to them yesterday, and they're in the same boat. We're getting to where the high temps are kind of controlling what you can do in the day, so, but I'm expecting that we'll at least get everything that we paved striped, you know what I mean? Again, same story, there might be a piece up by the bridge, but I'm expecting that it's gonna get striped. If it doesn't, we will come up with something else. The traffic count on that road's too high to not have something out there. Either we'll have to put the tabs in the middle, and we'll walk down the middle and put the stripe in there, and then people can call and say, there's a bunch of county guys out walking around. What's that?
I like the traffic count right now.
I would imagine.
As do I.
I second that.
So, let's see, what else we got going on? Basically trying to get that stuff buttoned up. Working on, actually FEMA's here today. We're working on doing some FEMA stuff. We might haul a little gravel on that, but I'm expecting the 2 sites that we haven't worked on are still underwater. So I don't, just leave them be, because they're going to be underwater in the spring again, I'm afraid. And doing a little patching. I don't know, we're just kind of trying to button stuff up. And before you ask me about the Hall Bridge, I forgot to call the DOT this morning and get a report from them, but I haven't heard that anything bad's happened up there recently, and as far as I know, it still has a November 5th completion date on it. But we're supposed to do the paving off the edge of that one too, and I can almost guarantee you that one will not get done. A little more palatable because of the traffic count up there compared to the Richmond Road, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to have gravel ends on the end of that one. But I still expect it to be done around November 5th.
They brought the guardrail up the other day.
Okay, so it should be getting close. We got the stop signs turned around, I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah, we've heard about it.
Yeah.
I think you guys did a nice job.
I think
There's no way you could have made it more
It feels
noticeable.
it feels a lot more natural, for lack of a better way, but we've had people looking at that intersection that I know of back to 2001 and trying to come up with some different things. And the fact of the matter is, we've gotten to the point where the traffic on the east-west road, independent of the bean plant or anything else that's gone on, the traffic on the east-west road is well above what's on the north-south road, and that's where you can't move stop signs. There's only 7 or 8 reasons you can move stop signs, and it has to be one of those reasons. And in this case, it's the change in the traffic pattern is what causes to flip them like that. So hopefully it'll hold up, and if that doesn't work, we'll go for a roundabout in there next time. I think you guys think you got some social media action now.
Reaches a habit, it's tough to change.
Yep. But I think it's a good change, I do.
Anybody that's used to that intersection, I mean, I catch myself slowing up.
Yep.
And I'm not sure that's right or wrong, but it's just natural. I mean, you just, you watch, because
I think
Well,
we
it's
all
just self-preservation,
You
it's
have
not a
to.
bad idea.
Yep. No, be a defensive driver, that helps a
you
lot.
have to back off when you go through there.
Because the trees on the southeast corner do kind of obstruct vision.
Yep. Okay, anything else on, you guys got any road questions? I'm going to a couple logistics things.
Good. Guys, thanks for putting gravel on the road up north.
Okay, good. Good.
They said it was much better now after this last rain to get up and down that little
I
hill.
suppose, yeah. There's a few spots that, it's just a doggone, I mean, I'm not telling the guys out harvesting anything they don't know, but it's so dang, there's just water in spots there's not supposed to be water right now. And
This time of the year, it's crazy.
yeah, it's great. The cement wall was the Jim River at the cement wall has gone up 11 inches in the last week. And so has the Crow. So they're both going up about a foot. State line went back underwater up from the Jim River coming up there. So
More to come.
yeah, I mean I don't like being pessimistic, but I just want people to get that in their head. When all of our roads and everything's inundated this long, and unless it never snows again until April, I don't see how we're going to avoid not having some level of situation next year. But so just be aware of that, and I guess we'll just have to do what we can do about it. But having said all that, so we're getting some little more water action, and we'll continue to watch it and hope for the best, I guess. Normally,
Jamestown is releasing a lot of water right now because they are flooding up in Jamestown, so that gym is going to continue to increase.
Yeah, they were actually at their maximum, what the city will let them evacuate prior to the 30 inches of snow. So
When you called me, I was coming back from Fargo. Everything's running full up that direction too. Thankfully, it's flowing north, you know. But about the same thing. That snow melted pretty fast up there, and now everything's just swollen again, you know. Normally, the 1st of November-ish, and the time change, would be switching back to 8-hour days. I'm going to stay on 10s for a few weeks longer here, just because we got a lot of stuff we're doing. I will definitely switch out of them before Thanksgiving because it creates a goat rope at the holiday. And sometime between now and that time, I would like to come in and have a little bigger long-term discussion about our work schedule. Sort of some ideas I have to maybe maximize what we have to, basically being honest, it's reacting to the budget cut for next year. So, I shouldn't say a budget cut because I never had it. My budget request cut. But unless you guys had an objection to that, I'm going to stay on 10s for a couple, 3 more weeks yet, because we're working on stuff now that we should have been working on in July, and we lost a lot of our little bit of time for hauling gravel and getting some stockpiles and stuff built up.
So way late start this year.
Yeah, it was, well, everybody got backloaded, you know. Your department, you need to run it. So.
And then held up now this last month with all the rain and
I know.
snow and...
The hay haulers, I see the hay haulers are running all over hell.
Yeah, I'm trying to press the road down so it's packed for
Good,
next rain.
good.
Change the elevation a little bit. So.
Yeah, there you go. Make it flow.
Tell us about your conference out in Rapid City.
That's always the best one. I see that they were promoting the commissioners getting there, and there was a handful there. I realize it's in Rapid, but that's one that it's way more real life stuff that you run into. They did a lot of things on traffic counts, and basically he was validating what we already do, where you try to put your resources into where you, it sounds pretty rudimentary, but what happens is you get people's hearts involved, but you put your money where the traffic is, and he was going through some comparisons, like if you have a road that gets a lot of truck traffic, there's 2 ways to handle that. You can either over-design it, well I shouldn't say over-design it, but you can design it to adequately...
With a margin.
Yeah, adequately handle the truck traffic, which your costs are going to go up, and your road will last longer, right? Well, your alternative is make a smaller investment in it, and a portion of your road that gets the trucks on it, obviously, you're going to either have to fix it more frequently, and or else build that one section up. What I've been trying to do is identify these areas, for instance, the roads that don't get posted, like the one into Stratford, and that's going to have to be somewhere that we concentrate resources, and some of the other ones you have to try to hang a blotter in there. So there was quite a presentation about that. A lot about communicating with the public and communicating with commissioners. There was a whole segment on communicating with commissioners. I didn't care much for the commissioner that did it.
And a big stick.
Well, she
You want me
was...
to turn this off?
She's from North Dakota, I don't care. But she was a little, she'd only been there, and I don't mean only, but this is her first term. She was wrapping up her first term. She's in Cass County, which is Fargo. So yeah, you have some big challenges, but there's a lot of insulation there too, as far as, you know, you guys are impacted a lot more by the day-to-day things than I got the feeling that she did. And she was a little bit too rosy and sunshine, and we all just communicate and have another meeting and things like that. So it was some good information, but I don't know how realistic I felt that it was. There's a few presentations, I've seen them before, because it was a presentation on a research project, so on the DOT research board that was alternatives for double T bridges. But again, that sounds so cynical. Again, it's sort of the same thing we do now, but instead of putting in your double T, you know, you put in your abutments and then you're setting your double Ts on there. Well, they were coming up with things like timber bridges, like a laminated timber bridge deck are just about indestructible. They don't have equipment that you can test them to the point of making them fail, if you follow me. If you put a concrete beam in there, they have, you know, you can put enough pressure on it to make it fail. These wood laminated bridge decks, you can't. And they said, oh, it's a great economic alternatives, so I called up the guy that sells laminate bridge decks and said, okay, I need a 60-foot laminate bridge deck that's so gosh darn cost competitive that I won't, you know, and it was 140% of what we do now. So, and I think there's different places that they'll work, but there's quite a push to come up with an alternative to the double T style bridge, because I think the feeling is a little bit that they deteriorate too fast. You know, they drop below their full carrying capacity, and so they've tried to come up with some alternatives. There's a presentation on that. See, that no, this isn't what I guessed you were going to ask me about, so I should have brought the itinerary with me so I can remember all of them. And of course we have the You Show Us contest, which is actually a really cool thing. All the states take applications for these weird little way to change your motor grader blades, or a different way to haul the tire out. You know, Dickey County won one year for a little cage deal they mounted on the front of their service truck, and it had a ramp deal that flopped down and you roll a tire in there, and then you roll that up and hook it up and you drive out, and you know, you just roll it down and you're not lugging the tire around. It's a lot of things, little things like that, and so there's always some good ideas in there. Have I answered enough questions that you'll let me go again, or?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
We know you were railroad cars.
We know you were
down in here.
We know you were there.
Okay, good. Yeah, I still see that guy. He's still doing that. We'll do a railroad car bridge someday too. Yeah. All right, you guys have a great week.
Thank you, Dirk. Thank you, Dirk.
Anything else, Kathy, from your end?
I think we're good.
Any other matters come before the commission?
Do you need an exec, Chris?
Yes, please. Proposed or pending litigation and contracts.
I would make that motion.
And then for the...
Moved by Kipley, second by Weiss, to go into exec. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in exec. Exec. No action as a result. Patty from Treasury was also here for
Okay.
personnel, and we had contract, and we had legal.
Yep, I got legal, contract and personnel, and we don't publish who's in anymore.
Okay. Anything else coming before the commission? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Pfeiffer, second by Sutton, to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.